Let me introduce you to possibly the most valuable asset in the game. Aside from Yinlin's assets, it would be Aftershocked Corals. This resource is literally gold dust and you need to be extremely careful with how you go about using it. So I'll be going through what would hold the most value in the shop that you can exchange Aftershocked Corals for and what mistakes you need to avoid. Just before we jump right into it, would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel for more WutheringWaves content and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. So firstly, how do you exactly receive Aftershocked Corals? You are able to pick them up through summoning for characters and weapons. 4 stars will drop 3 Aftershocked Corals and 5 stars will drop 15 Aftershocked Corals. So if you are aiming to pick up either a standard banner 5-star duplicate that costs 270 corals, or an exclusive 5-star character duplicate that costs 360 corals, by my calculations it would take you a long freaking time to save up for either. So if you are thinking about using any of these corals on those Radiant Tides or Forging Tides for a weapon, just don't. Duplicates in WutheringWaves can provide characters with significant boosts in DPS, and some duplicates may provide buffs to the entire team. For example, Yinlin's S1 will boost her skills damage by 70%, which is a strong individual damage buff. Then her S4 will increase the entire team's attack by 20% when she uses a Forte Circuit heavy attack for 12 seconds. So S4 would be a much more valuable duplicate since it not only increases her attack but will increase the entire team's attack. So if you are running the Calcharo and Yinlin godly duo, Calcharo would be dealing a lot more damage through Yinlin's S4. So the value of picking up exclusive character duplicates in the shop is insanely high, and to put it into perspective, if you wanted a duplicate of an exclusive character that you have picked up through summoning on their banner, worst case scenario is that you would need to full send 160 summons to pull the duplicate, and I'm sure every player would want to avoid having to go through that. So it's essential to save these corals for character duplicates only. Picking up Radiant Tides can only be justified if you are guaranteed to pull the character since you lost the 50-50 prior and you're not too far off on pity, along with exhausting all of the possible ways to pick up more Ashtrites, such as through exploration, endgame modes being Tower of Adversity, Elusive Realm, and any other quests you have yet to clear. So you really should just consider these corals as a last resort if you need a few more summons. Other than that, you should in general avoid picking up any summons from the shop with Aftershocked Corals. Now this leaves us with 2 other options: exclusive 5-star character duplicates or standard banner 5-star character duplicates. There is a difference of 90 corals between the two, with standard banner character duplicates being much cheaper. But don't fall for the bait. Whether you like it or not, the longer you play WutheringWaves, the more standard banner duplicates you will accumulate through losing 50-50s. Or they may just bless us with more 5-star character selectors and you would eventually be picking up duplicates through them. Exclusive characters will always be a ton more valuable, and as time progresses will power creep the standard banner selection further and further. So it would be a much better choice to pick up an exclusive character duplicate opposed to any of the standard banner character duplicates. If you are dead set on picking up someone from the standard banner selection, I would at least advise for you to save up enough for an exclusive character duplicate. Then if you have enough for a standard banner duplicate, go ahead, as then you are at least prepared to pick up an exclusive character duplicate if a character you really like does drop with game breaking sequence nodes. So now it's been narrowed down to only exclusive character duplicates you should pick up. However, how do you know which character is worth picking duplicates up for? Well, there's a few points to consider. Just before I get into this, if there's an exclusive character that you really like and you don't really care about meta, their longevity, and if the sequence nodes aren't that valuable, then feel free to pick up the duplicate for characters you like. First point to consider would be the roles the character can play. There are 3 roles in a game, being a main DPS, sub DPS / hybrids, and support. In terms of longevity, sub DPS / hybrid characters and support characters tend to last much longer in a game than main DPS characters due to power creep. It's just the law of every gacha game. Stronger, quicker, and more versatile main DPS characters will always release more often than sub DPS and support characters. So taking Jiyan and Yinlin for example, Jiyan is a powerful main DPS character, no doubt. He's able to deal a ton of damage by himself and has a lot of other great stuff going for him, from his passives to his design and so on. However, the only position he will be able to play is in a main DPS position, as he wouldn't benefit any character in a sub DPS position, as his passives and skills only benefit himself. So when a stronger era main DPS comes out with a more powerful kit, and if they release more endgame content more suited to stronger characters, you would obviously want to pick up the new era DPS. I'm not saying that you wouldn't be able to use Jiyan, but it would be a ton easier to clear new difficult content with newer characters. Now Yinlin is a hybrid character, as she can exceed in both the main DPS position position and sub DPS position, due to her great damage dealing capabilities on field and off field. Also, she mega buffs electro DPS characters with her outro skill, providing a 20% electro damage bonus and a 25% resonance liberation damage bonus. The beauty of hybrid characters is that even if they are power crept in the main DPS position, they can still resort to playing in the sub DPS position and would continue to be useful to the main DPS. So sub DPS / hybrid characters like Yinlin will definitely have a lot more longevity in WutheringWaves in comparison to main DPS characters like Jiyan. So investing in characters like Yinlin would be a whole lot more worth it in the long run. My stance on support characters is that they don't really need much investment in general to provide what you need from them to your team. So characters like Verina, as long as you have her passives unlocked and the necessary abilities in the Forte skill tree leveled up to provide the huge attack buffs to your team, you are good to go. Also, there are instances where you wouldn't run support characters, maybe like in co-op, but you will always rely on your DPS characters to clear content for you. So it's better to mega invest in your DPS and sub DPS characters over investing in your support. So when it comes to picking up exclusive character duplicates, I would not recommend to pick up any for support characters or main DPS characters. Second point to consider would be how much of an impact would the duplicate you are picking up have to your account. Now, as I mentioned earlier regarding Yinlin's sequence nodes, S1 would provide her with a 70% damage bonus for her skill, and S4 would provide a huge 20% attack buff for the team. So now it becomes a bit subjective to how many copies you have pulled of the character and the effect of the next duplicate would be. So if you manage to pick up Yinlin only once and you have enough Aftershocked Corals to pick up one duplicate, you would be able to see that the duplicate you pick up would only benefit her damage. Since it's a considerable boost in damage from her skill, it's worth picking up but wouldn't be that valuable in the long run. So it is skippable, as then you would be able to save your corals for another character that has a more broken sequence node you can pick up. However, if you manage to get extremely lucky, or you pull off the whole swipe your credit card trick and you reached S3 for Yinlin, you would be able to see that the next sequence node will have a much larger impact, as the entire team would receive a 20% attack buff. So the value will differ from sequence node to sequence node for a character, and you'll need to make the decision on whether it will be worth 360 corals to pick up. Of course, you can plan to pick up additional sequence nodes over time. So you aim to reach S4 for Yinlin by picking up sequence nodes now, and when her rerun banner does drop months later down the line, you could pick up 2 more sequence nodes then. It would be a bit difficult to achieve since the cost of one sequence node is expensive enough. But just for players that do manage to stack up on a ton of Aftershocked Corals, this would be something worth considering, especially for hybrid characters, as they will last a long time within the game. I have kind of speculated that Changli will be similar to Yinlin, being a hybrid character, so she would exceed in both the main DPS position and sub DPS position, whereas Jianxin I believe will be a main DPS just like Jiyan. So when they drop, you might have enough corals depending on how many summons you spend to consider picking up dupes for them. So if Changli does prove to be a hybrid like Yinlin, it would be wise to consider her duplicates over Jianxin. Overall, it is completely down to you on which duplicates you pick up. So if you want to completely ignore meta and what has the most value and pick up dupes for someone like Calcharo because you like his design, or Yinlin due to obvious reasons, be my guest. I would at least highly suggest to only pick up exclusive character duplicates, as standard banner duplicates will definitely accumulate over time. Hybrid / sub DPS characters in my opinion hold the most value, since they will have more longevity than main DPS characters and more usage than support characters. So investing in their duplicates would be a better investment. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel for more WutheringWaves content and drop a like. Also drop a comment on whose duplicates you are aiming to possibly pick up. And yeah, hope to catch you guys later.